Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today, located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Good evening, Manitoba female U18 AAA Hockey League fans, into a special edition of MFHL Game Day here on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, as always, for tonight's action, and Graham the G-Show Forsyth. If you've been with us all season long, or if you're tuning in for the first time tonight, it doesn't matter. You've officially made it here to the playoffs, everybody, after 32 games in the longest season in the league's history. 8 versus 9 play-in that happened last week to determine the final 8 in this year's playoff field. We finally got our first game of the playoffs. Kicking it off all here tonight in Winnipeg, Manitoba, as it's the back-to-back defending champion Winnipeg Ice starting their quest to go for 3 in a row against the 6th-seeded Pembina Valley Hawks. MFHL Playoff Game Day is brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, Terrico Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Shout out to Matt Beardy, our highlight editor, for editing this beauty of a poster. Yeah, it's exciting, everybody. 8 teams left, 4 playoff series on tap. This is how the play-in series went last week in the MFHL. Central Plains put the Lightning's backs against the wall, winning 1-0 in a huge 55-save shutout performance from senior goaltender and Elise Denbo for the Central Plains Capitals. But the Lightning would flip a switch as they would strike in the next 2 games. 7-1 would be the score in games 2 and 3 combined for Interlake to move on to become the final team into the playoffs this season. And it was Ireland Timchak who ended up having a huge series, led the whole play-in with 5 points in 3 games played, 2 goals in that crucial Game 2 victory to extend that play-in, and Elise Denbo winning Defensive Player of the Week. She faced so many shots, an absolute gamer, facing 147 shots in total throughout the series, which is absolutely insane. Congratulations to Elise on a phenomenal career in the MFHL, and best of luck to her at the post-secondary level. To Ireland Timchak, congratulations to her and her Interlake Lightning, who, of course, move on to face off against the Eastman Selects in the first round of the MFHL playoffs. These 2 teams matching up tonight, the Hockey for All Center, the Ice, and the Hawks. The Ice finishing top 3 in the league for yet another season. Although it wasn't first, pretty strong year as it went along for them. Second highest scoring team in the league and pretty solid defensively. They draw a Pembina Valley Hawks team who, well, they made it tough on the Winnipeg Ice so far this season. We'll get the stats leaders later on here in depth in this edition of MFHL Playoff Game Day. But yeah, all the season series as we can see it here. The Selects and Avros swept their season series against their opponents. The Yellowhead Chiefs won their season series against the Brandon Wheat Kings by a score of 3-1. But this season series in particular between the Ice and the Hawks, it was a battle as it was 2-2 tied throughout their 4 matchups. And to be honest with you, like, season series could be overblown. It's a whole new ball game here in the playoffs, or shouldn't say ball game since the sport is played with a puck on ice, but it's a whole new season, as I should say. That's the right word, I think. And you know, for both these teams, I'm interested to see what the nerves are going to be like here from the first whistle and how these teams are able to get comfortable within their surroundings and what should be a lively environment here. The Winnipeg Ice, they've had quite the exceptional 2 years and a lot of playoff experience built, as we'll get to them in just a moment for the keys to the game. But it's a question of will, I think, in this series between these two teams. And what I mean by that is I think whatever team just puts out the better effort gives themselves the best chance to win this series. Although I do think that the Winnipeg Ice much deeper on paper compared to the Pembina Valley Hawks. But Pembina Valley's been able to beat them twice, right? And for Pembina Valley, they're hunting giants at this point. Whoever they would play in the next round, if they were to move on, would most likely be a top-end seed. Someone throughout that top 4, depending on if there's any upsets throughout this first round. But what they've done to have success this season when they've had it as a team is they play hard together. When they play as a unit and they're able to execute on their game plan, they've been able to give the top teams in this league fits. I remember seeing one of their matchups against the Winnipeg Avros on the scoreboard, ends up going to overtime, right? And the Avros ended up finishing second place this season. So the Hawks have it in them to stay with the top end teams in this league, and they proved they could do that this season with the defending champs. But this is a top end heavy team in terms of their talent. When we look at Jessica Anderson, Cassie O'Brien, and Abigail Brigg, they played on the first line for much of the season together, but outside of them, their offense has been sparse as a team. This is also a Pembina Valley Hawks team who had points this season, hasn't been the most consistent team throughout a game in terms of their puck management, managing the puck well and getting key saves. They'll need to get all of that throughout this series, but most importantly, playing together as a unit as hard as you can and hoping that that top-end talent can carry you through in Anderson, O'Brien, and Brigg. Or will it be someone else for Pembina Valley tonight and throughout this series for them to have success? They would definitely be pleased to have it, right? Going up against a Winnipeg Ice team who, 18-0. Why put that number up on the board? That's the amount of playoff wins and losses that they've had throughout these past 2 seasons as back-to-back defending champions. And this Winnipeg Ice even deeper than last season. Look, they scored 91 goals last season, led the league, but it was really all centered around Stephanie Jacobus. She led the league in scoring by quite a bit and in the goals category. But this season, the Ice have multiple players within the top 10 in points, 2 of those players being rookies, and they put up 127 goals for compared to the 91 they scored last year. This is a team that can still defend, and a team who, if they're able to get on their game, you better get up on them early to force pressure on them, because they've proven this season they're able to survive in their own end, get solid goaltending from either Bailey Grunwald or Gina Plett, and be able to start to get comfortable in their game and get on the cycle. Will they be able to do that tonight and pass the puck around with success to create their opportunities like we've seen it this season consistently from this Winnipeg Ice team when they've had success? Or will it be the Pembina Valley Hawks who come up with a masterpiece of a game plan and play to the best of their abilities and maybe even over their heads in this series to give them the best chance. They certainly gave the Winnipeg Ice test throughout this whole season as they tied Winnipeg in the season series. We are going to get you to the points leaders from this season, as these brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Here in the province of Manitoba, Rio Pierre finishing with the not only league lead in points, but in goals and assists as well, having a record-setting season and capturing the Triple Crown, as you can see there. Congratulations to the second-year forward on what was, a season where we've never seen numbers put up like this. She broke the single-season points and goals record, the goals record held by Nora Collins, U of M senior. She had 37 goals back in 2021-22. Congratulations to rookie goaltender for the Eastman Selects, Isabelle Labossiere, and Adriana Almeida for the Winnipeg Avros on being tied for the lead-in wins this season. As for the playoff bracket, here it is. 4 great matchups in these quarterfinals. Do we see any upsets? Could we see an upset in this series, as Pembina Valley is the 6th-seeded team to the Winnipeg Ice's 3rd seed. Season series were tied at 2 apiece. These are the rest of the games, how the schedule will look for this first round. Who will be the 2025 U18 AAA champion? Well, as the Pembina Valley Hawks get onto the ice, they certainly hope they are. And for the Winnipeg Ice, they're of course in search of a three-peat. Enjoy the game, everybody. This should be absolutely phenomenal. Live from the Hockey for All Center, you're watching MFHL Game Day, a playoff edition on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. This has been our pregame show, National Anthems, in the first period, coming up next. Well, it's basically a brand new season here in the Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League. The start of the playoffs here on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. Thanks for being here, folks. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, Graham the G Show Forsyth. We are brought to you by Mick Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for this first period. Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check out their website at CanCentralSportsCards.com for more information. Puck is dropped, underway, won by the Winnipeg Ice, and we're off here in period number 1 of the MFHL playoffs. From the Hockey for All Center, blowing a tire is number 10 in Cox. The other number 10 in Izzy Mann. Whacks that down low for Kay Cairns. Rookie for the Winnipeg Ice this season, gets caught up along the boards. Wozdesensky, another rookie, out there checking on the forecheck. But this pass played up with success to Cox as she works through the neutral zone. Banked off the boards down low into the ice and cut off by Mann. Plays it over till the attack Sierra plays it into the neutral zone, cut off and over to Beatty. Beatty, number 14 for the Hawks, sends us in deep. Watch out for Grunwald. That took a funny bounce off the backboards and went through her creases. Grunwald getting the start tonight for the Winnipeg Ice in goal. Cassia Rakowski in net for the Pembina Valley Hawks. As our starting goaltenders, brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. It'll be Robbins who sends that download to Carvello, who whips it out in front, but that pass unable to connect with a teammate. Played into the direction of Brigg as she chases us down into the ice zone, but Wozdesensky gets to it for a slick move from number 9 to get that to Talia Jones, who gets it up to Carvello, who sends it in deep. She goes off for a line change. Duran gloves this down. It'll be pickpocketed by Robbins. Gets it to the slot from Moisey. Pass to Chavlik. Oh, poke check. Clutch there from Rakowski as this game remains scoreless at 0-0. Hudson at the line. Backhands this in onto the stick. Number 11 in Victor. Played quickly to, I believe, number 6 in Rock. Held in at the point now by Moisey. She fans on the shot, though, and it's played into possession of Jessica Anderson. Top 5 goal scorer this year in the MFHL. Turned aside by Bailey Grunwald, but Anderson gets this loose near the slot. Gets sent back down low as number 19 goes off for a change. It's the cycle. Looking to get it going, the Pembina Valley Hawks, but shut down well by the Ice. They're able to get this one out. Sent to the neutral zone. 2.5 minutes gone on the clock so far. Shots 1-0 in favor of the Hawks. Holding the Ice off the shot clock early. A good sign, but the Ice coming back in. Nice move by Wozdesensky. Fires on net. Turned aside there by Rakowski. This puck ends up to the point. Lazarenko turned aside into the crest of Rakowski. As we're going to mute the volume for just a moment here, everybody. The Ice search to get this out of their own end, but it ends up back down low, rimmed along the boards to our right-hand side from our vantage point. Wozdesensky putting on the moves, or no, that might be Chloe Nicholas. No, it is Wozdesensky. Got it over to Mann. Her shot trying to get that through a screen, but blocked up by number 6 in Rock. As this gets sent all the way back down into the Ice zone. Penalty coming up as a tripping call drawn here. And the most disciplined team in the league all season long, the Winnipeg Ice, will end up taking the first penalty of this game. Puts Pembina Valley onto the girl advantage. Brings on our power play graphic for Pembina Valley. This power play brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. As Abigail Brigg played that to a teammate back into the Winnipeg Ice zone and sent down low. Cox works this around the boards into the direction of O'Brien. Slows this up for Brigg. O'Brien gets that back. The top of the left face-off circle. Sends this down low to Duran as she shifts up high into the zone. Passes to the half wall to, I believe, number 19. And Anderson, as that gets sent all the way down. Sorry, that was number 15 instead, and Darby, who ends up getting the puck back now behind her goal line. Pressure coming. The other 15 in Chablik gave her a stick whack, but Darby able to get away from Chablik. Sends this across to Anderson now, who loses his puck in the neutral ice, but picked up by another Hawks player. This puck ends up getting past Anderson all the way out into the neutral zone. An Ice player blows a tire in Chablik, but no penalty called. Up to Perrin now. The Hawks break into the zone. Anderson turns away from the pressure, plays it up to the point to Victor. Nice toe drag from Victor through a stick of an Ice player. She stops up, passes up high, and now across to Anderson as that's blocked in front, sacrificing that shin pad. Number 16, I believe, in Carvalho. As the Ice get possession, sent all the way down deep into the PV end as Rakowski out of her own net to leave this for McKenna Steeves. 17 seconds remain on the Pembina Valley power play. Pass played up to Victor. Gets passed there by number 10, and man, good forechecking from the captain in the neutral zone. Jones trying to make her move towards the net short-handed as time expires on this Pembina Valley power play. Some looks, but overall, nowhere near enough to penetrate a very good Ice penalty kill to start off here. Lazarenko down low to Wozdesensky, being pressured by O'Brien. Wozdesensky gets this to Cairns. Cairns across to Mann behind her. Mann gets a backhand towards the net, blocked up by Pembina Valley Hawks stick. O'Brien, cheeky pass behind the back, rimmed all the way around now off the stick of Steeves. Gets rimmed around again, this time by the Ice. Cut off by Arkle, but she gets cut off by Wozdesensky. Gets this loose up to the point, shot wide of the net. As Victor will be first one on it. Cairns for the Ice, giving chase, and Cairns ends up with the puck, but loses it quickly. Texier towards the net, tipped there by Wozdesensky, but wide of it. Wozdesensky circles back, now denied by Rakowski, and Cairns out front. Right by Rakowski. Getting some whacks from Victor as Victor looks to protect her goalie at all costs. 13:23 remaining in this period of action. Back down into the Winnipeg Ice zone. Trying to get to it first. The number 5 is played all the way down low. Is number 5 for the Ice, Ota. It's on to her stick. Plays a D-to-D, but that cross-ice pass can't go out for the Ice. So he got sent in deep by number 7 for the Hawks. And Chase Braun. Along the wall. Pembina Valley looking to cut this off. They hold it in at the line. Darby played it down low as given chase now. Jessica Anderson sends this to an open girl down low, trying to go tic-tac-toe into the slot. But that off a stick. And nothing for Pembina Valley there. Maybe something here as it ended up back in the slot again. But here come the Ice. It's Moisey looking to make a move through the skates of Steeves. But Steeves gives her a whack afterwards. Steeves could be in trouble here. So it was the head ref who blew that whistle. But nice play by Steeves. Physical playoff hockey from number 18 to get in Moisey's way as she tried to dangle through her. So the Ice win this face-off draw. The chance nonetheless set up this opportunity for Winnipeg, but They squander it as O'Brien able to whip this out cross ice in the neutral zone off the stick of Cox. Arkle cuts it off along the wall, sends it towards the ice net, but cut off by the ice defense. Played up to Cairns, and now she tries to gain a step on Rock. Rock has her spinning and ends up taking it away all the way down back into the ice zone as O'Brien goes hard on the forecheck there. I believe it was Carvalho first one back. Might have been Walker, actually. It's hard to see from down here on the opposite end. Might need glasses for myself. 11:15 remaining. It's up to Wasowski again. She's had the puck on her stick many times already this period. High slot backhand, takes it towards the net. Nice right pad save by Rakowski to deny Wasowski on the chance in the corner. Chase Braun, D-to-D pass. The Pembina Valley defenseman in Rock. Back up to Braun now as number 7 activates up in the play. Fighting every inch along the boards with the Winnipeg Ice player as the Ice take this back. Lazarenko sends this all the way in deep. So it goes off the end boards into the slot. No Ice players there, so Pembina Valley able to breathe easy for now to try to get this out, but sent right in again by the Ice. Delayed offside, so Texiera had to circle out. Goes off for a change as Lazarenko remains out there. Fresh D on the ice, and Ota gets the puck first, as Ota ends up turning this one over. To the stick. Number 9 and Leah Clausen, who sent that down low for Pembina Valley. The Ice look to work this up once again. Carvalho looking to split the D, almost gets to it, but cut off at just last moment there by number 14 and Emily Beattie. Clausen now gets this just out off the boards past the stick of Ota as the Ice in the neutral zone again just send this in to the Hawk zone. This is to the middle to O'Brien. 6-1, the shots in favor of the Ice. Could this be the second one coming up here for number 2? She gets bumped off her line towards the net, ends up getting this pass to the point, but can't be held in by Ella Victor. She'll spin and fire off the boards. Ice cut that off. And now into the Pembina Valley zone, into the slot, but off the stick and through the legs of Hallie Chablik. Worked up, nice angle, but can't catch up to it with Skyla Hildebrand in the neutral zone for Pembina Valley. As Hallie Chablik battles along the boards in the neutral zone. It's the puck back down into the Winnipeg Ice zone, all the way down into Pembina Valley's end for an icing. And with that, 9:04 remaining on the clock in this first period. It's still scoreless, even though the Ice have had most of the shots so far. Just a little halfway point. Overbreaker shot on it. Rebound there for Anderson. Couldn't put it away. As Pembina Valley able to get a key win off that face-off draw. They look to control some possession, but pickpocketed. Chablik tries to get to this puck. Taken down as her and number 14 and Beattie were going hard for the puck. Good non-call there by the referee as Chablik lunged at it. Only ran into Beattie afterwards as that got sent into the Pembina Valley bench. So far for the Winnipeg Ice, we've seen them be able to work it into the slot. Just the pass is a bit off the mark right now. Those are those playoff nerves a bit. Maybe not that big of playoff nerves. Maybe it's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just can't get into the rhythm. Right here, maybe! That trickles just wide of the net. Rakowski left that whole right side open, but the shot way off the mark. This will be taken away by the Ice. Nice dangles by Lazarenko. It's number 18 activated up in the play from that blue line. Cox pressured along the half wall. The Ice converge on her. Man just able to hold the point. Backhand into that right face-off circle. Cut off by the Pembina Valley Hawks. O'Brien can't get this out. Texiera working up that shot from a tough angle. Unable to get through as it was blocked and sent behind the net. Beattie gets this past the skate of man who tried to clog the boards. Wasowski now cut off for the Ice down low in the PV zone as the Hawks able to get it up, but turned over into the neutral zone. Lazarenko staying hard on her. Lazarenko able to make her way through, but not quite through Beattie. on the dangle attempt there from number 18. Played up to Perrin. As just before the blue line, Force sends it in deep. Picked up by Brigg, gets it over to Perrin. Cut off pass along the boards in the Ice's favor. Played up to Carvalho now. She looks to gain a step and alone scores! Number 16 starts this one off right for the Winnipeg Ice. 1-0 for the defending champs with 7:13 left on the first period clock. Well, the Ice had one chance similar earlier, but not as much space for the player who created it. This time around, it's Cassie Carvalho who breaks away with that great speed of hers. Burns past the Pembina Valley D, and instead of raising this puck, she fools Rakowski on the 5-hole. As with the 7th shot of the game, the Ice have finally broken the ice, which for them must feel so nice on this Tuesday evening in Game 1 of the quarterfinals to open up the playoffs. That goal brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. So the Winnipeg Ice faithful cheer on. In the crowd, the Pembina Valley Hawks faithful look on, and their team looking for a big equalizer here coming up. Draw one by Pembina Valley, sent towards the net, picked up by number 5 in the low slot. Skyla Hildebrand couldn't do anything with it. She battles down low. Puck gets loose to the Ice's possession, but stays down low below the Ice goal line. Hudson will try again to an open outlet girl as this gets sent to the neutral zone. Moisey trying to gain a step, but this time cut off well by number 15 in Darby. Where's an A for the Pembina Valley Hawks? This rimmed around to Hildebrand. She can't whack that past number 19 in Delacqui. As for McKenna Steves, able to get this pass through successfully up the boards to O'Brien. O'Brien tries to chip and go, but can't get past the skate of Hudson there in the neutral zone along the boards. Rakowski with a bit of trouble with it along the wall. Just took a funny bounce back in the crease, played it with safety to Rock as Rock, her initial pass out of the zone, unable to get past a Winnipeg Ice player. The Ice now keep this in, just holding the line as Wazdasensky, as she keeps this in deep. But it'll be Rock who's able to get it past Wazdasensky, ends up into the neutral zone. Duran cuts this off, takes a bump along the boards, back into the Ice end. The Ice now work this up onto Wazdasensky's stick, dangles through number 8, poke checked the very last moment, gets this pass up to the point. D worked over Taxira, shot through, tipped wide of the net off the backboards. Man gets possession of it. Short pass over to Kay Cairns as Wazdasensky got taken down in the crease. Brigg, pass up to Duran, up to Anderson as the Hawks work it into the Ice zone. Anderson taken down hard. That'll draw a penalty here as Pembina Valley goes back onto the power play with 4:49 remaining in this period. It's a nice transition up from Pembina Valley, and they've been able to have success on completing successful breakouts so far here tonight. This time around, it's 3 of them working in. Anderson gets this puck by the net, takes a bump from Mann, which is a bit too hard for the refs' liking, and with that, it will send Pembina Valley back onto the power play, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Once again, the most disciplined team in the MFHL this season, the Winnipeg Ice. About only 170 penalty minutes taken, which was a league best this season. But when they've been on the penalty kill, been very impressive with the pressure they've been able to get on their opponents, just like here. Puck gets free to Duran in the neutral zone. She carries this in. Number 18 drops this back to Anderson in the Ice zone. Anderson has that sticked away. This is up to the point. Over that one time from O'Brien, blocked up by number 3, and Hudson is 3, sends us all the way down. Rakowski out of her own net to play this up to Darby. A bit of patience. Darby, D-to-D pass, gets it back, now passes up to O'Brien. O'Brien fends off the check-in of Texiera, gets tripped up, but no call on the play here, as Victor unable to hold that puck in the zone, attempting to hold that in with the glove. As the Ice send that in deep. Given pressure, number 6 and Nicholas. Pass successfully onto the tape of Perrin as she roams to the neutral zone now. Establishes the ice zone as she delays. Drops this back to Victor. That shot way wide of the net. Off the backboards and onto the stick. I believe Wasisensky, but she can't get that out. Wasisensky gets it right back. Nice takeaway from number 8. As she's been a workhorse so far during this period. Goes hard all the way down on Victor, trying to force a turnover on the forecheck, but Victor able to get the best of her, maneuvering away from her that time around in her own end. It's cut off in the slot. Perrin has that stripped away now, as the Ice get possession back. All the way down to the Hawks zone again with 3 seconds remaining on this girl advantage, as we will go back to even strength. Another successful Winnipeg Ice penalty kill. Delacqui ended up working it across to Kay Cairns. Cairns drops this back for Carvalho, gets contested along the boards. Whacked off the boards now by Arkle all the way out for this Pembina Valley Hawks team. So the Ice look to get set up to break out in their own end now. But off the boards, up the boards, turned over as Mann ends up blocking this up. As Carvalho heading to the net with her. Carvalho, what a reception of that pass, but couldn't do anything with the shot near the side of the net with 2:10 remaining in this opening frame. Puck in between the skates of some Hawks players. Gets worked back into the Hawks zone. Beatty looking for options up ice. Chose wrong as that intercepted by Moisey. Backhands it right back into the Hawks zone. Fired right back out by the Hawks as the Ice get possession of it again. Cross ice feed to Moisey. Tries kicking it up to herself, but will be denied as Pembina Valley takes this away and sends it all the way down deep. Getting off for a line change 2 in the process. Up the left side of the boards all the way down for the Ice. Deflected in, so no icing. Steve's up the left boards. On to Brigastick. The captain with a bit of trouble with it, but settled it down. Got it across to Duran as she makes her way in. Number 18, looking backdoor, but Anderson not quite there. Pass cut off by Texier and sent all the way out. Approaching the final minute of play in this period of action. Been more quiet offensively since that goal from Carvalho. Can one of these teams put up one more, or maybe a couple, high-quality chances in these final 50 seconds? Puck along the boards. Pembina Valley trying to get it back, but the Ice come out victorious. Turned over, though, by Winnipeg. Anderson trying to use that player as a screen. Turned aside by Grunwald. It's been really solid so far on 4 shots faced. In tight, the Hawks try to work that into Winnipeg Ice crease, but couldn't along the boards. Pembina Valley still has this in. Nice move by Brick to toe drag, but contested by a Winnipeg Ice player. The Hawks get this right back. Sent down low to the direction of Anderson. She's tied up along the boards. 16 seconds remain. The Ice still searching to get this out, but they can't. Cut off along the boards, and they're forced to send this down low. Played up the boards to Texiera. She looks to flip this up to Robin. She does as that hops out of the zone finally for Winnipeg. So they are able to finally breathe and exhale after the first 20 minutes, holding 1 goal lead after the first 20 in this period. Brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. And night 1 of the playoffs saw the Winnipeg Ice, the defending champions, get off to a 1-0 lead. But the Pembina Valley Hawks had success getting out of their own end with some good transition passes throughout that period. The offensive chances were there. Some good chances off the rush, and even forcing some turnovers in the Winnipeg Ice zone to keep the cycle going. But it hasn't been enough so far. They're going to need a bit more here to get things going against the Winnipeg Ice. But for Winnipeg, they were finally able to find some space, get in behind the Pembina Valley Hawks defense. So it was Cassie Carvalho who burned by with speed and beat Cassie Rakowski on the 5-hole to make this, of course, a 1-0 game after the first 20 minutes of action. What does the next 20 hold? Find out next here on your home for MFHL hockey on MFHL Playoff Game Day on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. We're going to show you some highlights from our regular season finale coverage. It's the Winnipeg Avros, the other Winnipeg team, and the Winnipeg Ice, or the Eastman Selects, ended up battling for first place in the MFHL regular season standings. Watch how the showdown unfolded coming up next throughout this first intermission. And then once we're back, we're going to have more analysis from around this opening 20 minutes. Live here from the Hockey for All Center on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. And this first period brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check out their only store location located in the city of Winnipeg at 995 Miltz Drive, as well as their website at cancentralsportscards.com. And live from Niverville, Manitoba, on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca, it's a Friday night presentation of MFHL Game Day here on your home for MFHL Hockey. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator for tonight's action, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. We're brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools, Ken Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico, and Goaltenders. Down below the goal line now. Behind the net, occupied by Almeida. Banks it up the boards, up to the point to Vaderigo. Back to Scott Cook. Nice pass. Gets to Maya Grenier, who's denied by Almeida. Another save by number 35. Now it's behind her. No, behind the net. And it's up to Chloe Carrier, but she fans on the shot there. This picked up by Beavis, but she has her pocket pick. This onto the stick of Rio Pierre. She's able to angle pass. What a move by number 9 on the backhand. Oh, loses it on the forehand, as she was named an all-star in the female World Sports School Challenge. What a save by Labossiere, sticking out that right pad, as this ends up towards the close boards to our broadcast angle. Wozni knocked Beavis to the ice. That turned aside by Labossiere. Another save made. This played up to Chloe Carrier. Now back across to Isabella Carrier, denied by Almeida. Top 3, maybe top 5 at the least. And Delaney, oh, bar out she goes. So close to opening up the score, and thought that might have hit the inside of the bar, but it didn't. As whacking away is Isabelle Labossiere. That tipped in, scores! It's the Eastman Selects who open up the scoring here tonight on home ice, as it's a great return to the lineup for Maya Grenier. She's the one who redirects it home. Sends it to the net. Paddling that to the end boards was Almeida. Losing her balance and on her stomach right now. A short read to the low slot. Grenier looking for her second. Whacks away at a rebound, but turned away by Almeida to take that away from Heidinger. But Heidinger able to get it back and squeezes by the Avers defense. Sent towards the net. Loose puck there to 9. Kennedy Carey on the doorstep was Almeida. Furthest away from our broadcast angle, Eastman able to get it back. That shot turned aside by Almeida with 12 seconds remaining on the Eastman girl advantage. Back up to Haas. That shot wide of the net. Almost off of Almeida. Inbound scores. Is that Maya Grenier again? I believe it is. As number 9 strikes twice here, this time on the Eastman power play. Is this? It'll be held in the Avers zone by Callie Remler at the point to Scott Cook in the slot, turned aside by the pad of Almeida. It got it to Grenier, who played it to the slot, but that pass misfired. It's worked up by the Arrows now. Pierre with the step, dangling in, trying to tug backhand, but Labossiere denying with that left pad. Picked up by Dixon, plays it to the point as Eastman gets the cycle going. Tipped in, scores! Grenier completes the hat trick as Eastman goes up 3-0. What a moment for number 9 in a return to the lineup. And as this game's gone along, so how do you find another gear in their game? That's what the Avros are searching for. Another good deflection in front for the Selects, denied by Almeida. Beavis now goes down low below the goal line in the Avros zone. Reverses this down to Isabella Carrier. Tries going to the point, but That pass to Hawes got deflected in front, scores! It's Caitlin Schroeder roaring for her hard work tonight with a redirection on the power play into the back of the net to beat Adriana Almeida. Assist to Scott Cook, plays that to the slot, into the feet of Eidinger, whacks away at it, another whack turned aside by Almeida, back into the slot now, to the point to Chloe Carey, her shot through, rebound into the backboards, that turned aside by Almeida again. Winnipeg, the Avers looking to bounce back tomorrow by the looks of it. So they'll be going into the lost column, maybe in this one, still some time left as Speechley powers away through, denied by Labossiere. Trying to get a favorable bounce, but the Selects able to get a stick in the lane. Picked up by the Arrows, tipped on net, rebound there, but nice job by Lexi Remillard to get a stick in the grill of Liberty Amy. But the Selects sure know how to frustrate this offensive juggernaut in the Winnipeg Arrows. 2 shutouts against them this season to win the season 3-1. It's the top offensive team in the league shut down tonight. A signature win from the Eastman Selects.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back to the Hockey for All Center MFHL fans into Game 1 of this best-of-5 quarterfinal series in the 2025 MFHL Playoffs. On your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions, it's the 3rd seed Winnipeg Ice facing off against the 6th seeded Pembina Valley Hawks. Shots were 7-4 in favor of Winnipeg throughout that first period of action. And they also lead on the scoreboard, as it was Cassie Carvalho, number 16, who was able to get loose in behind the Hawks defense and bury one 5-hole pass for Kowski. Carvalho, a big-time player this season for the Winnipeg Ice. As we take a look at her statistics through 32 games, was second on the team in points with 14 goals in 32 games played, 24 assists for 38 points. She was tied with rookie and Sophie Wozniacki for points, as Wozniacki, what a year from her, second on the ice in goals. But as for Winnipeg, how they've started this one off. Just want to see if I can find the assist leaders, because the website not updating right now in terms of the scores. And yeah, we'll check back in on who got the assist on that first goal by Carvalho. But overall in this, after the first period of action, after the first 20 minutes, if you're the underdog in the Pembina Valley Hawks, where you were getting into the Ice's zone, you were generating some offensive zone time, taking pucks away, the cycle was working at times for you. But it's, for them, about making the right plays happen in terms of finding a way to get that puck towards the net, open up the high-danger scoring areas, the slot, and getting those rebounds, too, on those shots that you end up getting through. I think that throughout that first period, the Ice, when Pembina Valley did have chances, Winnipeg made it tough on them to put up high-danger scoring chances. So Pembina Valley, can they create a bit more space for themselves in this period? That's going to be a big question I have. But they also played the Winnipeg Ice tight during that period. I thought that their defense, aside from that goal that was scored by Carvalho, it was only a matter of time before the Ice were going to break through for a goal for themselves based on how many rush chances Winnipeg was getting throughout that period. But Pembina Valley did a good job of defending on the rush, and also when the Ice were in their zone, even though they could work it to the high-danger scoring areas of the Ice like the slot, Pembina Valley was right there, right on them. And Winnipeg at times, even if there wouldn't be a player on them for a split second, wasn't able to quite make a pass for their player to do much with it, right? So I think Winnipeg shoring up on that as this game goes along. And in the second period, connecting on your passes more could lead to this game blowing wide open for them. But Pembina Valley, of course, looking to keep this game tight, checking and looking for them. Well, the only open space they'd like to see is in their opposition's side of things, and through the neutral zone too, I'm sure, as the transition game was pretty strong from Pembina Valley throughout that first period of action. Of course, welcome to the playoffs, everybody. Wonderful time in this season, as these are the rest of the series that are going to get going in the next 2 days here. Brandon and Yellowhead are going to be the last series to get going on Thursday night, as Eastman and Winnipeg start tomorrow. We'll have the Avros series, Winnipeg and Westman, that is, gets going tomorrow. We'll have the Avros Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 going tomorrow night at Seven Oaks Arena, and Game 2 on Saturday night. Or I guess Game 3, sorry. Their second home game we'll have on Saturday night at 8 p.m. at Seven Oaks Arena. Brandon and Yellowhead, a lot of travel between those two teams during this first round, let me tell you. 4 to 5 hours of travel time just to get to each other's cities, which is wild. This is the first round bracket. Interlake made it in, winning the play-in 2-1 in that best-of-3 series against Central Plains. Interlake, of course, finished as the 8th place team this season and kept it that way to move on to the Final 8, the Elite 8, the quarterfinals, whatever you may want to call it here in the MFHL. As the Winnipeg Ice have made their way back out onto the ice, we still await the Pembina Valley Hawks. As Bailey Grunwald getting the start tonight for the Winnipeg Ice. As a cheer over from the Winnipeg Ice's cheering section as they applaud their players. And for the Pembina Valley Hawks making their way back out onto the ice, led by Kasia Rakowski, who made some key saves throughout that period. Both these teams want to get more on their shots in terms of when they get it on their sticks. A few shots that could have been stronger, I think, with high danger scoring chances that these teams had on their stick throughout that first period of action. As the second period of action going to get underway here shortly. In the next few seconds, as both teams are at center ice, this period will be brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 8 years in the agricultural industry, as well as goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Will we see the goaltenders continue to stymie shooters throughout this period, as well as the defense continue to hold up for the most part for both these teams? We'll find out as puck is officially dropped and we are underway for this second period of action. As Lazarenko off the boards tried to hit Kate Cairns with a pass, but that got past number 12, finally into the neutral zone and into the Hawks end for the Aces. Checking her. The girl is number 8 in Wozdesensky. She got a lot of ice time throughout that first period of action. Starting this period, Lazarenko, nice defensive stick to take away that cross-ice pass in her own end. She skates this up, looked to shoot, but held off. Now she does, into the glove of Rakowski. And whistled down here with not even a minute gone in the second period so far. For the Pembina Valley Hawks, they had a lot of rush chances themselves in that first period of action, but playing into the slot, like we just saw there, denied a lot of times. They were denied once again. Beautiful play by number 18 Lazarenko. Great concentration to take away what looked like a bit of a saucer pass put on as well. As at the line, Walker can't quite hold the line. Ends up regrouping back as this across to Ota. Her pass up in the neutral zone for Jones ends up missing. Carried in by Brigg. Kicks this out to Anderson. Here's a chance for number 19. Denied by number 1. Big glove save from Grunwald as Anderson looks to work this across. Finding no one. Onto Carvalho's stick instead. Cut off by Anderson to keep this in, but sent out of play. Not quite into her own bench, outside of it as it made its way past the whatever doors are there separating the players from that concrete. It might not even be a door, actually. Just a pathway. The benchway there for coaches to make their way onto the benches instead of having to travel onto the ice to do so. It's out the line, held in by Pembina Valley as they look to go to work still. Victor plays this towards the boards, gets it to safety. To Braun, played to Perrin, low slot, can't let that go fast enough. She had her pocket picked by a Winnipeg Ice player. Urgency has to get better here for Pembina Valley if they want to have a chance to tie this game. Perrin with a golden opportunity. Let it slip away a bit there. Out the line, Darby off the boards, down low, Clausen gets a stick on it, keeps it down low by rimming this across, as Chloe Nicholas will be first one on, but Steves, what a play beside of the net into the slot. Anderson ends up being denied. Steves lost the puck on what she was trying to create was a wraparound chance. Grunwald was off that right post too, and there was a crack open for Steves. Just had it roll off her stick. Anderson denied in the slot. She's still out there, sends it down low, but past the stick of Hildebrand. The Ice still looking to work this out. It's been a struggle so far to start off this period. His shots now 8-6. The Ice led 7-4, heading into the frame. Texiera gives chase. First one on it. Sawatsky keeps this down low, but picked up by Lazarenko, connects a beautiful pass up onto the stick of Wozdesensky as she attacks middle now. Wozdesensky to the net there, that shot high of it at the side of that crease occupied by Rakowski. It's the Ice so dangerous on the counterattack. Spent so much time in their own end to start off this period, now they look to get to work. That's off the stick of Mann, plays that out in front. Rakowski gloves that down. Getting a stoppage. 16:44 remaining. Face-off draw to the glove hand side of Rakowski. And ends up being won and possessed by the Winnipeg Ice, but taken away by Pembina Valley. Turned over into the neutral zone on the stick of Walker. She tries to send that in, but gets blocked up by O'Brien. Her shot can't get through. That shin pad of Ota is a huge block from number 5. That rush chance from O'Brien. O'Brien led the Hawks in points this season. It goes back in the neutral zone, on the stick for Cox. He's drawn a penalty in this game back in the first period. Ota off the boards. Ends up sending it to a teammate who collided with Rock. Puck gets sent all the way down. Beatty first one on it. Just out of the reach of Arkel on that outlet pass. D-to-D, this goes to Hudson as the Ice work this back in, sent in deep and off the boards. Players lose sight of the puck for just a moment. Gets back in the neutral zone. Delacqui up onto the stick of Chablik. So it's Chablik who had herself a pretty nice chance earlier on in the first period, pickpocketing a Hawk in the Hawk zone. The Hawks can't send this out now. The Ice start to get their cycle going. Chablik to the slot, off the iron, the crossbar, and out of the zone for number 15. As we'll have a face-off set up. To the blocker hand side of Rakowski on a shot from Chablik, who remains out there to take this draw. Beat everything but the bar that time for 15. Had 2 really good scoring chances now that, well, first one, a good play from Pembina Valley to shut her down on that one. Just a bit unlucky from number 15. Speaking of Pembina Valley, picked up by Brigg. Walking in, her shot wide of the net there. Tried to pick that glove hand side. Past Grunwald, but couldn't. As the Ice able to send this out into the neutral zone to safety. Back onto Brigg's stick, sends this in onto Duran's stick now. Down the right side, challenging, sends that to the front of the net. Couldn't finish my sentence. Then Anderson scores into the slot. Number 19 finds that loose puck and sends it into the back of the net as Pembina Valley ties this one up at 1 apiece. Well, so much going on there. He got interrupted a few times because the chances Pembina Valley put up were making it tough to continue my thoughts there. As Pembina Valley just direct to the net this time around, getting it to the slot. Getting loose was Jessica Anderson to put her team on the board for the first time tonight, drawing even. That goal brought to you by Terrico. Pembina Valley had most of the pressure through the first 5 minutes of the second period. The Ice started to get some pressure working back in their way. Pembina Valley came down to even this one up into the Ice end. As they look to do it again, can't quite get it out. It's sent down low, and the Hawks sent onto the stick of Mann. Picks it up along the boards, sends it back down low in direction of Wasowski. She battles along the boards. Loose puck now to number 10 in Mann again. Spins away from the check-in, but couldn't get that past the stick of Chase Braun as Pembina Valley working it up again. This time sent in deep by number 9 in Leah Clausen. Nice stick by Texier to whack that away from the Pembina Valley forward check-in. This puck ends up down low again. Picked up by Perrin this time. Perrin trying to maneuver her way to the net, trying to draw a penalty but couldn't. As O'Brien now just misses on that low blocker side. Short side as they like to call it. Grunwald, another big save. She gloves that one down. .13:24 remaining. 10-8 the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice, but it's Pembina Valley who's pressing right now. Back in the Ice zone, offensive zone draw. O'Brien tied up by Talia Jones. Nice job by 17. This gets rimmed around to Robin. She gets cut off along the boards by Cox. Players in to help now. It's O'Brien who gets that loose to the point. Blocker down that long-range shot by Grunwald. As Beatty stepped up from the point, couldn't get a shot through as Robbins, a nice defensive play. Was able to muscle it out too. Darby, though, able to pick this up and get it right back in. Contested by Talia Jones, trying to send that in as Jones in the neutral zone. Sends us in deep into Pembina Valley's zone. Along the wall, this puck stays. As Jones will keep it there. It's tough to see the angle right now, but a few Ice players, 2 Hawks players along that boards. It's both trying to get it loose. Maybe one of the teams trying to keep it there. It finally is loose as the Hawks get this down low in their own end, trying to work this up the wall, but not quite onto the stick of Arkle. So it's out of her reach. Rimmed back opposite side once again. Closest to our broadcast angle in the Pembina Valley zone. Flipped all the way out by the Hawks. Now cut off in the neutral zone by Delacroix, who played it D-to-D before this gets sent back into Pembina Valley's end. And Darby sends it up to Brigg, who was calling for it in the neutral zone. Off a 17 stick, but 17 gets it in deep. Continuing to give chase on it as Hudson cuts her off. Now physical play along the boards. Moisey taken down hard, and we will be getting a penalty coming up here on Pembina Valley. As the Winnipeg Ice going to the power play for their first time tonight. It'll be an Ice power play as we bring the power play graphic on the screen. Brought to you by Terrico. This season for the Winnipeg Ice as they win the draw and work at D-to-D. That shot through Lazarenko denied by Rakowski. But Winnipeg this season ranking second in power play goals recorded at 24. So very disciplined as mentioned. Another strong season of special teams for Eugene Kaminsky's group, but strong penalty kill sequence here to start off for Pembina Valley is a nice stick in the lane to cut off that pass by Hildebrand. She's first forward checker in. It'll be Mann who blows by her though, as Mann in the neutral zone tries to work some speed. She cuts in through the middle, now to the left. She tried to drop that back to Wasisensky. Wasisensky now to the net for, I'm not sure who that is, but hauled down was a nice player in front. I believe that was Chloe Nicholas, actually. Lazarenko's pass hit a stick and got into the Pembina Valley Hawks zone. Lazarenko gets us back to Cairns as Cairns denied on that left face-off circle by a nice save by Rakowski. Pembina Valley trying to help their goal turn out by getting this out, but it'll be cut off and held in at the point by the Ice. Now Chablik at the point. Her shot. Tries again. Rebound there. Whacking away at it. But no dice for the Winnipeg Ice. As Rakowski able to hold the line. Standing her ground to 9. Winnipeg at the doorstep. With 41 seconds remaining on the Cassie O'Brien penalty. Chablik remains out there. Feels like she's doing this game so far. Tied up on the face-off circle. Ice able to win the draw, but cutting off that puck was Arkle. Pembina Valley able to get it out. And the Ice regroup in the neutral zone. Taxiera blowing a tire along the boards. Can Pembina Valley take advantage? No, they can't quite. As Delacroix now takes a spill into the boards as well. Taxiera down low retrieves this puck. Leaves it for Cairns behind her own net. Cairns, her pass out of the zone, ends up being stick down by Braun. Great stick there from number 7 from the Hawks as she gets this down low into the Ice zone. Effectively ending their power play as we're back to even strength. The Ice look to gain some offensive zone time here. Tip towards the net. Rakowski, pretty sure she just had to make a pad save there. Taxiera again through a screen. Might have been tipped, but Rakowski, concentration on high alert. Able to make 2 key saves there. A bunch in that sequence. It's up to 16 now for the Ice on the shot clock. The shot count. But it's tied in this one, 1 apiece. Jessica Anderson, Pembina Valley leading scorer, got PV within even. It feels like so long ago now. So much has happened since. There's penalties, chances from these sides. As Pembina Valley almost turned this over in their own end, almost sticked away by this Winnipeg Ice team. As all the way down into the ice zone for an icing this goes. With 8:42 remaining. The goal scorers for the Ice, Kelsey Carvalho. And for the Pembina Valley Hawks, Jessica Anderson. Thank you for tuning into this one. If you are MFHL fans, it's been a dandy so far. And only expect for it to continue this way. Tight checking as Anderson whacks us out for Pembina Valley. Delacqui will be first one on it as Delacqui spins, fires across to man in the ice zone. This gets redirected into the Hawk zone now from neutral ice. Beatty being pressured hard there by Wazasenski. She comes away with the takeaway. Wazasenski spinning away down low, looking to draw a penalty, but doesn't there. She was taken down. As Wazasenski gets it back. No, that's actually man. Wazasenski trips, falls. Carvalho, her shot denied. It's the net. Sorry, that might have been Kate Cairns. Rakowski, her 17th save of the evening. Face-off draw. Won by Pembina Valley, but the Ice get it right back. He saved there from Rakowski. She got the right pad out to make it. Along the boards, both teams whacking away at this puck, trying to get it in their possession. Pinned up along the boards, down low will be Ella Victor. Puck scrambles loose along the boards now. Ice get it back. Up top to Tech Sierra. She fires right back down low onto the stick of Nicholas. Nicholas along the boards. Up top to Lazarenko. Fires right back to number 15 in Chavlik, who couldn't get that on net. Nice dangle out of her own end. It's Perrin who just before the blue line sends this in deep and gives chase down low into the ice end. Puck hasn't been in this end of the ice for quite a while, as the Ice have had a lot of good offensive zone time. Moisey able to whack it out. The Ice get it right back down into PV's end, but goes D to D. Now nice cross ice pass. That shot just high of the net from Clausen upon entry into the ice zone as she went off for a change. The Ice now looking to work transition up. Stretch pass cut off by the skate there of Darby. Ice get it right back. Robbins sends this in deep, dodging the check of a Pembina Valley player in the process. Darby pressured down low by two Ice players. At the point, Walker steps in on the line. Sent down low, but nothing doing there for this Winnipeg Ice squad as it gets sent all the way back down into their own end. On the stick of Talia Jones, passed up. That shot turned aside from the point by Grunwald. Back to Robbins. Her pass cross ice now misses the stick of Jones, and the Ice have to try again. This time, third time's the charm, as they're able to send it out as Jones got contested right at the line and sent it in deep. With no other options as she ran out of space and time. Walker in her own end sends this off the boards. Cassie O'Brien plays this back in the neutral zone, but picked off, pickpocketed by a man. She loses possession of this puck as she was trying to make a play towards the net. Lost a handle on it. Man gets it down low now. As the Ice look to get the cycle going, can't connect with that pass in front. It's sent all the way back down into the Ice's end of the rink. Off the stick of Wazasenski, back down low to Walker. As Walker able to rim this around to Cairns. As Cairns' backhand pass missing every one of her teammates into the neutral zone. As Pembina Valley able to send this right back in. Cox gets the stick up high into the helmet of Ota. This will be a penalty coming up for Pembina Valley. And a tough one there for Cox to take. But unfortunately, got to be able to control your stick, and she was unable to there going in on the forecheck. Could see from our angle it clearly catches Ota in the noggin. So with that, it's the Ice. We'll be going back to the power play. Their second of this matchup. As mentioned, second throughout the regular season in goals on the girl advantage with 24 power play goals. They look to have more success this time around. First got to keep it in as that pass off the backhand and out of Lazarenko. Lazarenko carried it right back in. That pass struggled to get through to Wozdesensky, but number 8, with a bit of checking along the boards, does control it. Whips it across to Lazarenko at the point, misses the net, was looking to go low blocker side, but just missed that left post. Ice get it back, backhand towards the net, denying that shot was Rakowski with the right pad. So the Ice hold at the point, sent back down low again, cut off by a rock for Pembina Valley. Ella Victor in now to try to take possession, but the Ice get it back. Strong forecheck from this Ice team, strong cycle. So they're getting it going along the boards. Unable to receive that pass cleanly, I believe, was Chablik with 50 seconds remaining on this power play. Now sent out in front, but can't connect to Wozdesensky. She got held up. Allows for Pembina Valley to get it out as Arkel sends it in all the way. Just past the red line, just before the blue line, as the Ice look to set things up from their own end, breaking out 200 feet. Lazarenko held this puck. Finally does send across ice, but a weird bounce, a skip over the stick of Cairns on the puck's way to her. Sent all the way down by this Pembina Valley squad again. 2 successful kills so far for Pembina Valley with 10 seconds remaining. The Ice to set up maybe one last chance that would have to come quick to get one more power play shot. That just played down low as we are back to even strength. For the Winnipeg Ice, able to get this up to the boards. D to D, worked attack Sierra. Her shot in, turned aside by Rakowski. With the 20th or 21st of the game for the Ice. 2:45 remaining. The score still tied at 1 apiece. It's Jessica Anderson who tied things up earlier on in this period. Getting loose in the slot to beat Bailey Grunwald in tight. As the Ice play this towards the net off the draw. Carvalho was looking for a second of the game, but Rakowski denied her right away. Down low this goes, but not quite out for Pembina Valley as they tried to rim it out. Rim down low along the boards now. Rock, her pass through the middle, cut off by Jones, whacked down low again for this Ice team, which the game plan been to just pressure this Hawks D-core, go to work down low. No, that's not how their first goal was scored. It was scored off the rush, but the Ice have gotten a bit of a cycle game going here as this game has gone along and as this period has gone along as we've seen. But as Pembina Valley works it out, it's O'Brien. Her shot, glove down, rebound. Oh, nice save by Grunwald. Great concentration from number 1 as she keeps this a tie game with 1:50 remaining in this second period of action. Coming up on the 39th minute as that shot from Cox goes wide of the net. Now all of a sudden a burst of energy in the ozone from this Hawks team. Walker reverses this, but cut off into the slot. Anderson, her pass denied. She was trying to set up Brigg. Anderson circles around now, loose to Brigg. Hits the side of the net instead as the captain tries to dangle through. Karen's stick can't. She gets it right back to herself. Karen's now along the boards, being pressured by Duran and Brigg. Up to the point, that shot through, but can't get to its destination. contact was not only the net, but to that stick of Anderson looking for a tip. Kay Cairns carrying it up now. Cut, she stops up that shot wide of the net. But Gabby Robbins picks it up, draws a penalty down low. Grunwald was heading to the bench. Whistle goes right away though, so she goes right back to her crease with 55.5 seconds left in the second period of action. The Ice hasn't been fantastic on the power play tonight, but another opportunity for them here. They've had some chances. They'll be looking for a lot more here. So we'll bring on goaltenders for a Pembina Valley Hawks penalty kill. Texiera tries going to the high slot, but her pass was cut off. Robbins, or Wasilewski gets it back. One-timer set up. Turned aside. It's a nice player by Rakowski. Wasilewski to take the draw. Face off won by O'Brien, but the Hawks can't send it out. Lazarenko, her saucer pass towards the boards cut off, as Pembina Valley does send it out off of that. As Winnipeg sends it right back in, trying to rim it hard enough to get to it first, but can't. PV with another strong clear, as Grunwald out of her own net to play this. Hawk pressuring in Hildebrand. The Ice unable to play a good first pass. O'Brien just really off with the attempt there as the net went off. She took it away in the corner, and a great skating ability and good hands and tight from O'Brien as she was able to make it through two Winnipeg Ice defense. So it'll be Chablik to take the draw against Abigail Brigg. As Brigg wins this, up to O'Brien, squeeze through, just wide of the net that goes, squeaked past that right post. As the Winnipeg Ice can breathe, heading into the second intermission after Pembina Valley came inches from putting themselves up, heading in to the final 20 minutes of regulation. Short-handed nonetheless, but great period from the Pembina Valley Hawks. Look, I mean, they gave up over 10 shots, but they also put up over 10 shots with 11. Start off the period with some really great pressure on the Winnipeg Ice. And then, you know, Winnipeg started to get some pressure for themselves, but Pembina Valley would provide a great counterattack, would get in behind the Winnipeg Ice defense below their goal line, and Anderson would find a crack in the Ice's defensive coverage, getting loose in the slot and putting home a loose puck past Bailey Grunwald. Both teams have had their chances on the power plays in terms of having power play opportunities. Both penalty kills have looked great so far. Pembina Valley's short-handed unit most recently, creating two really good chances. They'll be short-handed to start things off in this next period of action, which will be brought to you by Make-Hand Fasteners and Tools for the next minute and 5 seconds as Ella Victor is in the box. As Winnipeg looks to take this one home, up to start off this game, they're in danger of blowing this one. Can Pembina Valley pull off a stunner here on opening night? Well, given the season series, may not really be considered a stunner, given that these teams were tied in the season series at 2 apiece. The only matchup out of the quarterfinals to have the season series tied. But yeah, would be a stunner in terms of the seeding, as the Winnipeg Ice not only are the 3rd seed and Pembina Valley's the 6th seed, but Winnipeg also hasn't lost a playoff game in over 2 years. 18-0 in the past 2 years combined. Do they make it 19 in a row? Coming up here in the conclusion of our first MFHL Playoff Game Day live stream of 2024-2025. As Game 1 of the quarterfinals rolls along here. Into the second intermission, we'll be back. Highlights to come from our regular season MFHL Game Day finale 2 Sundays ago in Niverville, Manitoba, as the Eastman Selects were looking to secure first place for the first time in their franchise's history. We'll be back for more of Ice and Hawks after these highlights, everybody. Stick around. This is game 32 of this regular season this afternoon between the Selects and the Chiefs. The Yellowhead Chiefs, that is. And this MFHL Game Day broadcast brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Hepner trying to maneuver away from the pressure. Gets it up to the point to Haas. Haas' shot tipped on net, denied by Johnston. Thank you for tuning in on this Super Bowl Sunday, by the way, everybody. Let us know what your favorite Super Bowl scores! Right as I'm talking about the Super Bowl, it's a super goal for number 19 and Danielle Hepner. To Callie Remillard, plays this over. To Lexi Remillard. Over to Hepner as her shot ends up deflecting off the pads of Johnston. On to Callie Remillard's stick now. She circles up, rebound there, scores! And is it Danielle Hepner again? I think it just maybe makes this a 2-0 lead for Eastman Select squad. Trying to get this down low. It does go to Heidinger. Tries to locate in the slot. It gets there. That shot not able to go through. Now Heidinger banging away at it. Scott Cook unable to put that in back door, but up to the point it goes. Chloe Carrier's shot. Just getting a piece of that was Gracie Johnston to clog the wall up. Sent down low. Now ends up to the point for Rose Cochran. She tries shooting, but fans on it. Ends up on the Hepner's stick. It's number 19 with 2 goals already. And this 2-0 lead kicks it out. That shot on net off the post, scores! A hat trick for number 19. As she completes the natural Hattie to put Eastman up 3-0. Are you kidding me? But taken away by Eastman again below the goal line. Worked up to the point. Haas, her shot, looking for a tip side of the net. Hepner denied. Rebound there. We're back to even strength. Still banging away at it. Eastman shoveled in front of the net again, but turned aside by Johnston. Veach sends this below the goal line for Pollock. Pollock tries to protect this puck. Now out in front, loose in the slot. Despiège-Lair unable to whack away at it. That's a great job by Eastman to converge on that. Labossiere makes a heads-up save off of that deflection. As they go off for a change. 1:14 remaining in this period. This chipped up by Maxwell, but unable to get to it first as Lexi Remillard back in her own end. This stretch pass up, connects, offside, not going to be called. Heidinger dangles and scores! Into the opposite corner by Sophia Heidinger, the most recent goal scorer in this game. Now Vader Rigaud plays it to the net, gets it with a great hand-eye out of the air. Face-off won by Eastman up to Lexi Remillard. Her shot through deflects wide of the net off the stick of Schroeder. Dixon gets it off the boards to the slot. That shot scores! Isabella Carey makes it a 5-0 game. Cochran up the boards, turns this over to Rigaud. Ends up back in the neutral zone. Gray able to get a step. Gray in. Has her pocket pick. Great defensive effort on the back check by Blake Hawes as she got a stick in. Off the stick of an Eastman player back down to the Yellowhead zone. This is taken away by Scott Cook. Nice stick. High slot. Cook sends it towards the net. Rebound there. Whacking away at it. Delaney Rigaud, but ends up under the pad of Gracie Johnston. So it's over to Heidinger now. Works her way in. Heidinger as she stick handles and stops up now near the point. Heidinger dangles past Taryn Knight. Able to shoot. Scores! An inaccurate shot. A rip from number 16 in Sophia Heidinger past Gracie Johnston. Extends this lead to 6-0 for the Eastman Selects. On this girl advantage now. As this intercepted towards the net, Gray wide of it, as she's had so many chances like that. To Delaney Rigaud, she makes a move, making her way towards the net, backhand trying to tuck that in, 5-0, but Johnston denies her. from Pollock as she continues to work here. Forces a turnover, held in at the line by Gray for the Chiefs. Picked up by Pollock again. That shot turned aside. Rebound there over the net. That goes so close. With 17 seconds remaining on what has been a record-breaking season for the Eastman Selects for the first time in their franchise's history, finishing as the first-place team in an MFHL regular season. They'll have to wait to see who their opponent is for the upcoming first round, but congratulations to the Eastman Selects, who finished this season with historic numbers all around. Only 33 goals against all season long, which we're going to do some digging. Has to be an all-time best. You'd have to think so.
McKenna Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, McKenna Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, McKenna Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today, located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Welcome back, Manitoba female U18 AAA Hockey League fans, into our first MFHL Playoff Game Day broadcast of the 2025 MFHL Playoffs. Live here from the Hockey for All Center as it's the third-seeded Winnipeg Ice, back-to-back defending champs, opening up their quest to defend their title officially tonight in Game 1 of this best-of-5 quarterfinal series against a team that's been a thorn in their side this season in the Pembina Valley Hawks, and continue to be here in the opening game of the playoffs tonight as it's tied at 1 apiece. The Ice will be on the power play to start off this period for the first minute and 5 seconds, but overall, even though Winnipeg's had some okay looks throughout their first 2 power plays of this game, Pembina Valley's been playing them tough on the PK. They've been playing them tough in all phases of the game tonight, whether it's 5-on-5 or special teams wise when they are shorthanded, and they were able to get a key goal from their captain and Jessica Anderson to tie up this game at 1 apiece a bit earlier on in that second period of action to get to where we're at now, as it was held scoreless afterwards. Shots 22-13 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice at this point, as they'll be looking for a much better start to this period too. Felt like the first part of that period kind of belonged to Pembina Valley for the most part before Winnipeg started to work into their cycle game and start to get some more offensive zone time as that second went along. In this one, you got to get a good start off the jump if you're the Ice, especially with even more ice to work with 5-on-4. These are the first round playoff matchups in the MFHL. For the full playoff schedule, be sure to visit MFHLU18AAA.com. These are all the dates and times and locations for the first round matchups. As mentioned, can check them out in detail on the MFHL's website. But yeah, unfortunately, the league does it sometimes, but they haven't put any scoring up for tonight's playoff game. I wanted to see who the assist getters were for the first 2 goals, but I guess we'll have to leave that be. As for this series, second game will be Thursday, here at the Hockey for All Center. Games 3 and 4, if necessary for Game 4, would be in Morden. Reason for this setup, it's usually for the home side, the higher ranked team, they would get the home games for Games 1, 3, and if necessary, Game 5 of this series. But due to some difficulty in Pembina Valley booking home ice for that Game 2 Thursday slot, the Ice stepped in and booked that home game instead. So the Ice looking to use that to their advantage. Pembina Valley looking to play spoiler, as they'll be second out on the ice once again. The Ice, the first ones out here on this Tuesday night, everybody. A long week of first round action that we got to have covered here on the network. Can't wait for it as Pembina Valley makes their way out onto the ice. But we'll be live at Seven Oaks Arena tomorrow night for Game 1 of the Winnipeg Avros versus Westman Wildcats series. On Thursday, we'll be back here in Winnipeg for this series, and then, while nothing on Friday night, we may have 2 games on Saturday to broadcast, which would be Game 2 in the Eastman Select series against the Interlake Lightning, as Game 2 will be played in Warren on Saturday afternoon, and then we already have it scheduled, but Game 3 of Avros versus Wildcats would be covered on G-Show Productions on Saturday night at Seven Oaks Arena. The Ice start off on the power play. The Hawks on the penalty kill. They're looking to pull off an upset in this one and complete the comeback, as they were down 1-0 to start things off after the first 20 minutes of play. This period brought to you by Terrico, or by Mick Fasteners and Tools. The second period, was brought to you by Terrico and goaltenders. That chance from the Ice. Robbins couldn't get it on net. Now to Wasosensky in the low slot. Her backhand way wide, so it goes into the corner. The Ice keep the pressure up here to start things off. Exactly what you need from the side of the net. Oh, that almost catching a funny piece of Rakowski's pad into the back of the net, but ends up coming away unscathed there. It's the Pembina Valley Hawks able to work this all the way down into the ice zone with a dump in. The Ice have to break out 200 feet. Up and over the stick of Wasosensky, all the way down, but no icing called as Robbins first one on it in the corner. Her pass to the point cut off by O'Brien and sent all the way out, as we are back to even strength. Some good looks from Winnipeg, and not much power play time to start off this period. Pembina Valley to the slot. Urkel had her stick lifted there by a Winnipeg Ice player. Good defensive play. Rock to O'Brien. Almost has her pocket picked in the neutral zone. Instead, held on to it and sends it all the way down for an icing. So we'll get a face-off draw. Coming up all the way down into the Hawk zone. So it'll be to the blocker hand side of Rakowski, closest to our broadcast angle here. Chablik to take the draw against O'Brien. Won by the Ice. Moisey got it on net. Nicholas tried to get the rebound, but it's the other number 6 in Rock who boxed out the Ice's number 6 in Nicholas. Bit of attitude from Rock afterwards, shoving Nicholas away. As the whistle went, won by the Ice. That trying to get through his screen. Nicholas picks up that puck, but sticked away by Rock near the Pembina Valley crease. Braun, her pass up off the stick of number 9, and Clausen couldn't connect with her, as Chablik now pins up Beatty along the boards. No penalty coming up here for the Ice. The refs letting them play. Perrin sends that into her own bench, so we do get a stop and play. Once again, with 17:59 remaining in this period. Another face-off draw inside the Pembina Valley zone. Anderson to take it, wins it against number 10 and Izzy Mann, captain for the Winnipeg Ice, and finished third this season in points in the league behind Ivy Perkin, who ranked second, and Rio Pierre, who was far ahead everybody in the field this year of point getters, all the way down to the ice zone. No icing called on the play as that puck slowed up just enough. As the Ice send a pass out, but all the way down and into Pembina Valley's possession as Victor played it up. Duran now gets loose. Hasbrig heading towards the net. Duran towards the net, scores! And who else but number 19, Jessica Anderson, to put it home for the Pembina Valley Hawks. Their leading goal scorer in the regular season. She has both of their goals tonight. A beautiful play from Duran to slither her way past the Winnipeg Ice into the Winnipeg Ice zone. Had Brigg heading to the net, but she has another plan in place. Ends up sending it backdoor to Anderson, who has a wide open net to put that puck in to give Pembina Valley their first lead of the playoffs, their first lead of this series, their first lead of the game. A 3-1. So that goal brought to you by Make Canada Fasteners and Tools. Abigail Brigg has that sticked away along the boards. We'll pick it back up though. O'Brien heading towards the net. Brigg had it sticked away again, sent out of the ice zone. What type of response does this Winnipeg Ice team have? It's in danger right now of, yes, blowing that long winning streak they have in the playoffs, but I think more importantly for this group, like instant pressure right away that they haven't felt in the past few years if they end up losing game one. Held in at the point by Beatty for Pembina Valley. That shot ricocheted off of a body in front, wide of the net. The Ice send this out. Here they go on the rush. Chablik has a girl heading to the net, and Nicholas, she shoots wide of the net instead. Ends up to the point. That shot, Chablik in front, gets a deflection on it. Back to the point. Another one. Rakowski this time with a save. It's Pembina Valley with a huge clear. Will it be hard enough for an Ice? And it will be. Hallie Chablik had a strong 2025 playoff debut. Of course, she debuted in the playoffs last year as a first year forward on this team. But for Chablik, she's been creating a lot of opportunities with good foot speed, some nice hands as well. We saw there a deflection out in front. That shot gloved down by Rakowski, cleanly covers it up in front, and gets a pat on the back as well from Arkle. At times this season we've been critical at Pembina Valley's goaltending just by the numbers that their goaltenders have had this season, but you gotta give them credit. Rakowski especially is in front here. Looked like she had to battle for a moment to make a save, but deflected high of the net instead. The Ice worked this up to the point. That shot wide of it from Texiera. Hildebrand tries to work a pass up, and she does to Anderson. Looking for number 3 in this game as Anderson ends up losing that puck in the left face-off circle. Contested well by a Winnipeg Ice defenseman. It's up down low. Ice go D to D. That pass just out of the reach. Number 10 and Izzy Mann on the breakout attempt for Winnipeg. Back into Pembina Valley's end now as Robbins. Nice skate in the lane to block that pass out and could get it down low. But the Hawks will work this around. They still possess it in their own zone. Now it's the Ice who get in on the forecheck. Loose puck out in front. Nice stick by Victor to get that on Robbins to deny that chance as Victor in the corner plays this DDD in her own end. Now that pass, stretch attempt from Steve's unable to get past number 16 and Carvalho for the Ice as she gets it settled up to the point. Carvalho to the slot, off the skate of Jones and wide of the net. This goes It's on to Robbins' stick. Robbins up to the point for Ota. Her shot blocked up. Nice one by Steves there. It says Braun in the corner who tries to get to this first. Robbins beats her to it. Robbins, her shot can't get through. To the point, Walker. Her shot blocked. Again, another block by Steves. Here, another chance. Oh, what another block by Steves. Her third of this shift gets a huge applause from her bench as number 16, a much-deserved line change there. Absolute warrior-like shift from number 16 for this Hawks squad. So they're able to flip it out. But back into Pembina Valley's and an icing called on the plays. We can take a breath. The players can take a breath. I'm sure the coaches and fans want to take a breath as well. The ice all over the puck in the Pembina Valley zone, but McKenna Steves, she's stepping up big time. Selfless, sacrificing the body, sacrificing her stick to make those blocks. 4 at most there. Unbelievable sequence from number 16. As the ice work it back in, Moisey can't get it through towards the net. Beatty denied the lane. As Beatty steps up, causes disruption at the line as this puck gets loose to Anderson. Anderson picks it up along the boards, fires this to Rock, who Rock has that pass cut off in the neutral zone by Hudson. Hudson sends it down deep. First one on it will be Chablik. Lost it in her skates, but nice job to recover it. Back to the point. Delacqui in front in the slot. Wasisensky taken down. No call. Almost gets to the loose puck. Rakowski has a nice player. Almost fall on top of her. Not quite. So it's Chablik in the dirty areas again. Front of the net this time, trying to get to that loose puck. She's puck hungry, folks. Same with Wasisensky. Let's face it, almost every single Winnipeg Ice player is here. Relentless on the puck, and so far have had themselves, not sure if the body language has said it, but a frustrating night as it's gone along against Pembina Valley. Not been able to open up the space that they've been so accustomed to getting against so many opponents this season. Pembina Valley's played a hard, tight checking game. Needs to continue here for the next 12 minutes and 33 seconds, though, for them to come away with the win. Mann tried to play that in front, but once again, Steves with a huge block. This time the right skate. It's held in. Lazarenko at the point. Walked in. Turned aside by Rakowski. So Rakowski gives Steves a hug as Steves gives her goaltender a pat on the shin pad. Working in unison, Rakowski making big stops, and Steves making big stops in front of her with yet another block. As this ends up down low, Darby and Wasisensky collided into the corner. Pembina Valley able to work this loose and freed to Arkle. As Arkle past the red line, sends this in deep, given chase will be Cox. Cox battling with Texiera. Texiera comes away with the puck win. Nice pass up off the boards, just off the stick of Carvalho. Delayed offside on the play, forces her to regroup. Out of the zone, whistle called. So I believe, will this be called for an icing? And Eugene Kaminsky arguing this right now. I'm right there with him. Like, icing call was called way too late, in my opinion, for my liking. And it works in favor of the Pembina Valley Hawks. As offensive zone face-off draw won by PV. D to D they go over to Victor. Her shot skips through. Unable to get to the net. Into the corner it goes. Played down low. It'll be on to Ota's stick. Ota unable to fire this out for the ice. That shot from Rock at the point, missing every one of her teammates' sticks, looking for a deflection through that screen. The ice looking to chip and go. They do so. It's Talia Jones tries to chip it down deep into the Pembina Valley zone, but a nice glove there by Rock as she's along the boards. Keeping this puck tightly sealed there as both teams try to get it free. Pembina Valley gets it loose, works it below their goal line. It's Carvalho hounding number 11 and Victor on the forecheck for the Ice. The Ice, their hard work pays off right now. They get it back, but lose it just as quickly as Robbins couldn't maintain possession of that puck through the battle. Robbins collides again along the boards, this time with Rock. Tries to get it down low to Carvalho. Carvalho tries to get it loose within the stick of a Hawks player. That puck landed as the Hawks work this reverse all the way to Clausen just before the blue line. Clausen finally does send it out, but it's the Ice who do possess it. It's onto the stick of Nicholas as she catches this off the boards. Into the Hawk zone. Pass across, can't go. Loose puck picked up by Chaplik as 15 was in good support. Her pass down low to Nicholas. Too far for her as it got to Beatty for Pembina Valley, who sends it all the way down into the Winnipeg end. But a bit too hard for PV. It's all the way down for an icing. 9:58 remaining. Another draw inside the Hawk zone. Just to answer to someone who's tuning in here, this is the Winnipeg Ice and the Pembina Valley Hawks in the Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League quarterfinals playoffs, first round of playoffs, this being the opening game. And this is being played in Winnipeg, Manitoba right now at the Hockey for All Center, formerly the Bell MTS Iceplex. Anderson takes this puck away out in front to Duran, who had that puck slide under her stick into the corner. Ice able to get it out. Pembina Valley so close to looking like they were going to go ahead by 2 in this one, with 15 shots only, but making the most out of them as Winnipeg works this up now for themselves into Pembina Valley's zone. Nicholas or Wazasensky cut to the middle, but Beatty stood her up well, caused a turnover and allowed for Pembina Valley to do this, breaking into the ice zone. To the front of the net it goes to Brigg, getting through off of O'Brien's pass. This out now for the Winnipeg Ice. They're able to get some breathing room. It's back down for Pembina Valley. A nice pickpocket by Wazasensky. Turns and fires, but misses Cairns in the slot area. All the way down off the boards for Pembina Valley. And into the ice zone. Winnipeg plays it. D-to-D Texiera jumping up in the play now. In the rush, has that stripped away. As Pembina Valley plays across ice. That pass doesn't connect though. Steves whacks it out back in the neutral zone as both teams continue to play catch here as it's cut off by Cox. Intercepts that pass in the neutral zone. Wazasensky now connects to Carvalho, looking to gain a step. She does! Oh, nice stick at the end there by Rock to get that on Carvalho. Could have argued maybe it was a slash, but calls a bit more strict here in these playoffs. They'll let these players get away with a bit more stick whacking. It's legal enough in that one. In regulation enough as Carvalho gets it back. Carvalho, her shot off the noggin of Rakowski, off the end glass, as Braun tries to whack this out, but no success. Face-off coming up just outside of the Winnipeg Ice's zone. You're watching MFHL Playoff Game Day on your home for MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. Thank you for tuning in to this one if you have, everybody. It's been a fun one. Pembina Valley looking to take this one up by 2-1 right now in Game 1 of this best-of-5 quarterfinal series. The puck down low in the Winnipeg Ice end, below the goal line along the end boards. Two Ice players trying to get this free. Two Hawks players in the area on the forecheck. Finally does get loose. It's backhanded back down by Pembina Valley, trying to keep it there and hemming in this Winnipeg Ice team, but the Ice won't have any of that, able to get it out. That cross-ice pass intercepted by Pembina Valley in the neutral zone. With just over 6 minutes remaining, Winnipeg sends this in deep again. Off the stick of Hudson, goes off for a change. Izzy Mann challenging on the forecheck. Darby gets a pass by her onto the stick of Anderson with 2 goals already. Burns by Anderson, denied there by Grunwald as this puck rims all the way out into the neutral zone onto PV's stick again. Here they go again, trying to get that back to Anderson, but just out of 19's reach. Winnipeg able to get it away from the area of 19. Opposite side of the ice now as Carvalho works her way in, spins and fires down low into the direction of Cairns. Mann also there for support. Puck to the point, held in onto Carvalho's stick, plays it to Lazarenko. She unloads that wide of the net. Didn't challenge Rakowski that time. Another shot, Texiera this time challenges Rakowski, but it's number 35 who makes a key save and gets a key stop in play for her team. Getting a breather with 5:16 remaining. 30th shot of the night so far for the Winnipeg Ice. They only got 1 goal to show for it, down by 1 by a score of 2-1. As O'Brien wins this strongly towards the boards. Rock being hounded 2-on-1 by 2 Ice players. Wazasenski tried dragging this to the slot area, but stripped away. Puck all the way down into the ice zone again. No icing called. So both teams got there before it reached that goal line. The Ice look to break this out. They go cross ice behind, I believe it was Wazasenski. Got it back. Her pass into the neutral zone ended up failing to connect. As Talia Jones sends this in deep for Winnipeg, giving chase on Victor. It's Jones along with Robbins. Robbins tried to clog that wall up but couldn't. Pembina Valley still with possession of it, and they work this out. O'Brien chips and goes. She gets past, fends off the stick of Delacqui into the ice zone, dangles through. What a move, but nice save by Grunwald to stop up O'Brien. O'Brien, with that chance, though, sets up another offensive zone face-off draw for this Pembina Valley Hawks squad. Fresh set of legs out as well for Pembina Valley, getting a line change. A draw won by the Winnipeg Ice. Rimmed around, cut off, wall up the boards by Clausen. Towards the net, stick taken away, no call coming on the play as it disrupted the Pembina Valley chance. 4:07 remaining, we get another stoppage in the play. The Winnipeg Ice faithful a bit more quiet than they once were in this game, all the way down near their own end right now. Tough goal to beat Grunwald. Great play by Duran and Anderson earlier on in this period. Anderson, of course, with 2 in this game. Beatty, her shot dipping on the way through to the net. Nice concentration by Grunwald to come away with another stoppage. Shots now 30-18 for the Winnipeg Ice. Briggs tries to maneuver her way through the face-off, almost gets that through Grunwald, but Grunwald came through with a huge save. It's the Ice who worked their way up, while Sasenski's path to the slot ends up being cut off. Briggs back with it. Almost sticks this away. Pickpockets number 8 now in Wazasenski and sends it all the way down into the ice zone. Briggs, first forechecker there. Puck gets past her. Wazasenski fires this to Cairns. Had some trouble with it. It's now onto the stick of Texiera from that right side. Sent it wide of the net, rims all the way out as the Ice recover in the neutral zone. Kay Cairns now, saucer pass over onto the stick of Delacqui as Delacqui sends this all the way down low to Steve's stick as she cut that off first, but held in at the point. Huge block by O'Brien as she'll look to get to this puck first, looking to win the puck race to it, and she does. Gets in behind number 16 in Carvalho. Lost up the boards though to Hudson, who's played a strong game for herself from the back end. Backhanded in deep by Robbins. Almost got it back from Carvalho, but off of her stick. Big save by Rakowski there as Robbins gets it back to the point. Talia Jones unloads. That shot deflected high of the net by Carvalho. She was looking for her second of the game. Hudson again. That shot blocked up by O'Brien. Her second block of this shift. Down to Carvalho. Gets pinned up by Steve's pass to Robbins. Misses side of the net there as the Ice. The passes just haven't been able to connect tonight, even when they've been able to get them through cleanly. It's been a frustrating night for the defending champs, which Pembina Valley has taken advantage of here and have also created their own luck with how hard they've played this Ice squad. Big players step up in big game situations, and that's been Jessica Anderson tonight. Comes in with the reverse grip on this face-off draw. Ends up losing it to Chablik, but hard on the forecheck was Brigg. Right off of the face-off draw and gets it back into the slot. Brigg tried to get it to Duran, but Duran was covered well, tightly by Chloe Nicholas. Down low this goes, off the stick. I believe number 19, down low in Anderson, trying to get this puck loose. The Ice, they get it back. They gotta start going here. A minute 30 basically remaining in this game. Just over a minute 30 and now under a minute 30 at a minute 28 on the clock. Texiera looking to work some magic, and her shot just misses high over that right shoulder of Rakowski. Chablik been big time during this game. Gets it to Wasasensky. Down low, Wasasensky's pass towards the slot though, couldn't get there. Blocked up well by Pembina Valley. As the Ice go off for a line change, we're coming into the final minute of play here. The Ice, their long playoff winning streak, will it be broken as they're 18-0 in their past 18 games? That shot wide of the net from Pembina Valley. They may just be the team to do it. They've been the team that has given the Winnipeg Ice a lot of fits this season as the season series was tied at 2 apiece. Maybe some magic here from the Ice though. Man over to Lazarenko. Huge kick save by Rakowski. Pembina Valley able to get it out. Goaltender pulled for the Ice. They really got to go now. It's Chablik has that sticked away by Brigg. First one on it was Desensky, picked up along the boards by Brigg again, can't quite get it out. Lazarenko sends that deep. 14 seconds remain now. Man, cut off along the boards by Darby. It's successfully to Brigg. She gets met in the corner by a few Ice players, held in at the point. Texiera, that shot wide of the net. Time ticks off. Chablik slow to get up along with the Hawk in the corner as they're both tied up with each other. As I believe Abigail Brigg is okay. And she gets up to celebrate with her team, who, congratulations Pembina Valley on going up 1-0 in this series. Upsetting Winnipeg tonight. Shocking this home side that came out to watch tonight. And for the first time since 2021-2022, the Winnipeg Ice have fallen in a playoff game. The back-to-back defending champs looking to bounce back on Thursday night back here at the Hockey for All Center. Not sure if it'll be on this ring specifically, but all the credit in the world tonight to the Pembina Valley Hawks. My goodness. Just the effort, the relentlessness they played with in the D-zone. Felt like they were playing for a championship tonight. And if they're able to keep up that mentality and that consistency throughout this series, Rakowski made the big saves when she needed to. You add all that together with the fact that you had a big-time player stepping up in the offensive zone tonight and Jessica Anderson putting the team on her back in many ways. An all-around effort paying off big time for Pembina Valley to come away with the first win of this postseason in the first game of the postseason over the defending champion Winnipeg Ice. As for Pembina Valley, they now improved to 3-2. The head-to-head this season against Winnipeg. As show you the playoff bracket. The rest of the series getting going in the next 2 days here as Avro's Wildcats get going at Seven Oaks tomorrow night. Same with Selects and Lightning. As for this series, Game 2 back here at the Hockey for All Center at 8:20 p.m. on Thursday night. gshow Productions will have your coverage starting just before the puck drop, and we'll have the puck drop set at 8:20 for you all on what should be a fantastic game filled with a lot of intensity. Again, we're going to get into the players of the game here, and then we'll finish off with some final words. We'll start off for the Winnipeg Ice, brought to you by Make Hand Fasteners and Tools tonight for the losing side of things. Gonna award the player of the game to Hallie Chablik. I thought that Hallie played with a lot of heart tonight, a lot of pep in her step, really good skating ability, broke away a few times to get some prime chances on this Pembina Valley Hawks team, most notably in this third period, just ended up being denied, or no, sorry, in the second period when she ended up hitting the crossbar. Was really strong on the forecheck tonight. First period created a prime opportunity for herself, pickpocketing player in the O-zone. And yeah, was creating off the rush tonight, creating in the O-zone, forechecked hard, and played a solid 200-foot game. And for Hallie, the Ice will, of course, be looking for her to continue her strong play along with the rest of their team for the rest of these playoffs, as they're in uncharted territory right now. Haven't been down in the series in a very long time. I'll have to look back and check, and we'll have that stat ready for you for Thursday's Game 2. But yeah, I think the last time this Ice team trailed in a playoff game in league play might have been back in their final series where they lost to Westman in 2021-2022. But yeah, Hallie, I mean, unbelievable performance from her tonight, even though her team ended up losing. She gets player of the game from the Winnipeg Ice. And for the Pembina Valley Hawks, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, McKenna Steeves wins player of the game tonight. I mean, the third period really did it for me. When your team has to defend the lead and has your backs against the wall like they did on many sequences, Pembina Valley, they got huge defensive stops, huge saves. But some of the biggest saves coming from McKenna Steeves, like 4 blocks on one shift. I wouldn't be surprised if she had double digits tonight, but just hard-nosed all game long, tight gap on Winnipeg Ice, not giving them an inch. And yeah, all heart tonight. If there was a player that exemplified this win the best, if there was a definition for it, you look up in the dictionary, it'll be McKenna Steeves blocking a shot for this victory. Comes to mind for me, of course, Jessica Anderson with 2 goals, but thought that Steeves, based on the effort she gave, deserves player of the game tonight in the win for Pembina Valley, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Be sure to visit their only store location here in the city of Winnipeg at 995 Miltz-Eagle Drive, as well as their website at cancentralsportscards.com. Yeah, I think in this game here tonight, Pembina Valley has set the pace and the tone in this series. Can the Winnipeg Ice match it? I certainly do think they can. Like, both teams skated with each other evenly tonight, in my opinion. And like I said, it's going to be a matter of will, a question of will in this series. Who's going to will themselves to the point where they're going to do enough to help get their team through. Which team will do enough collectively to help get themselves through? Well, for the Winnipeg Ice, they found out tonight that this series, much like the regular season series between the two teams, ain't going to be easy at all. I think for Winnipeg, they had their chances tonight, but just pucks rolling off their sticks quite often, and yeah, just unable to connect on that final pass that they needed to have that success. And frustrated at a lot of points tonight, especially on the power play, as Pembina Valley didn't really give them an inch, and Pembina Valley needs to continue to play hard, needs to continue to get big stops from their goaltending, needs selfless play, and their big-time players to step up. Well, they got that all tonight in this Game 1 victory. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to Terrico, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Mid-Canton Fasteners and Tools, and Goaltenders for sponsoring another edition of MFHL Game Day Hockey. Our next MFHL Playoff Game Day will be tomorrow night in Winnipeg, Manitoba at Seven Oaks Arena as the Winnipeg Avros start their quest to try to capture their first title in MFHL history. Westman looks to get back to the final for a fourth straight year, as they are the David to the Avers Goliath in that series. But, as we saw tonight, if you're the higher seed, it means nothing at this point. It's a brand new season, everybody, and Pembina Valley starts things off with a huge 2-1 win. Both goals from Anderson, huge performance from McKenna Steves, Cassie Rakowski, and all of the Pembina Valley Hawks. They'll look to do it again in Winnipeg on Thursday night, everybody. Until then, I've been your host and play-by-play commentator, Graham the G-Show Forsyth, saying so long, and thanking you for tuning in to this edition of MFHL Playoff Game Day. Hawks up 1-0 in this best-of-5 quarterfinal series over the Winnipeg Ice. Back here again on Thursday night and handing Winnipeg their first loss in 19 playoff games. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.